the winter and stuff, and we're still getting killed. We're still getting shot in the back for breaking up fights and stuff. It's still happening, family. You think Biden gonna change this? So definitely. Next up, we got our brother Broussard, my little cousin, coming out of St. Louis, and he's gonna be talking about keeping a level head. So, brother Broussard.
Yeah. It'll be real quick. I always got an African proverb, so I just want to say one. Only a fool tests the water with both feet. And I want to talk about keeping a level head. And after that quote, I'm also going to quote something Malcolm X said. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing. And in order for us to keep a level head, we have to recognize that the media isn't our friend. As you all stated earlier, with the incident that you all were explaining, the media isn't there to help, not the mainstream media. I mean, the black media may be there, but the mainstream media isn't our friend. So, not one mainstream media network, newspaper, or mainstream social media account is for black people or for the empowerment of black people. They may be for the division of black people. So, in order for us to keep a level head, to avoid the stress Queen Melly was talking about, we'll have to limit the media that we interact with, because it's not there to empower us. It will have us calling people like Kamala Harris black, who really isn't, or to have us wanting to be Trump supporters or Biden supporters that have us doing everything but what we need to do. CNN is not the friend of black people. They may pretend like they are because they have an agenda. Fox isn't our friend. We know Fox isn't our friend. The HuffPost, the Root, MSNBC, all of those entities have their own agenda. And if you really look at it, like I was reading something earlier about Kamala grilling the new judge that they're trying to get in there. And her main points was how the lady felt about abortion and gay marriage. It wasn't about black people. And this is a black woman, allegedly. And I just like Brother Noble just stated, we're getting gunned down in the streets, and the main thing she want to know is, what do you think about abortion, which is death, or homosexuality, which is death? All of these things are counterproductive to what we need. And the media has been trying to tell us who our friends are, who our enemies are, and we should not be letting our enemies pick our friends or our enemies. And the media is our enemy. These are the same people who vilified persons like Malcolm X, and then when they die, they'll pretend like they supported Malcolm X. These are the same people who hide the real truth in the news and the history, and they ignore it. And when they want, they'll report a story that fuel a flame or fuel a fire, but they're not doing it from a sincere point of view, or as if they care. It's just something to get views. They're not trying to see change in our community. They're not trying to have us being self-sufficient. They want us on the nipple of white supremacists, which is feeding us toxins. So our most important thing is distancing ourselves. Even if we can't live away from them, we shouldn't be inviting them in our homes at 9 and 10 o'clock, first thing when we wake up in the morning. I mean, you can get the weather and turn it off, because the majority of it is not for us. It's for the confusion. They're not talking about loving black men, loving black women. They got us thinking that black men don't protect black women. While this case, she had multiple black men protecting her. They could have, pointed that out. But they do things to make sure that we're divided. So if you don't support Kamala, you don't support black women, and you might be putting a black girl through college, that's your daughter, or supporting your black wife. But if you don't support Kamala, you don't support black women, according to the media.
Yeah.
So we just have to do what we got to do to get a level head. And that's getting these devils and the enemy out of our minds with their newspapers, their magazines, their fake Twitter, Facebook accounts pretending to be real people. All of these things are attacking us mentally and are adding to the stress that we already had 400 years prior. So that's all I want to talk about. BB5ODA family. Shout out to everybody in the newsroom.
Right on. Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Bashar. That's right. That's right. That's why I always come back to it. We need black media so much. You know what I'm saying? Here in Denver, we got a couple of black media stations, you know what I'm saying? But, we need somebody who's focused on us, who's not trying to cape for other people. And, why is that every time there's something black, we got to mention the Mexicans. We got to mention Hispanics. We got to mention white people and stuff. Why come we can't have something strictly for us where nobody else is allowed into it? Why not? Do we get in their shit? Are we allowed in their shit? No. So why do we always have to, well, what about the Mexicans? What about their aspect? What about who gives a fuck? They don't care about what we think.
Yeah, they can go back to Mexico.
Yeah. And that's what I put, the other week. Why come y'all can't go back to y'all, man? What's so wrong with Mexico? What can somebody explain me that? We're on the live and on the chat. I know somebody might be in there. Why come y'all can't go back? What is wrong with Mexico?
And they got their own army. They got cartels.
If we can go back to Africa, if Africa was where I can drive to Mexico right now. If Africa was that close, I'd have been there.
Been gone.
And they're talking about all the cartels and all that. Ain't the cartels the nigga that's helping y'all?
Man, he been feeding for decades.
I mean, I don't get
They
it.
didn't have to leave us out. All of this is out. They need to crawl back up in them caves.
Yeah, damn.
Yes.
Boy.
Yes. Things have not been the same since they came out them caves, Sister Belly.
Hey, Russia's missing some people.
Yeah. Y'all had back in them caves, yeah. Y'all make little underground cities, y'all did it.
Don't hide the kids in the underground. You take y'all ass down there.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, definitely. Next up, we got our brother General D in the war room. He's going to talk about other topics going on. So, brother D, General D.
What's good? What's good, family? We on that live Wednesday. We'll be here for a few minutes. If you got some questions, make sure you type them in and send them through to me real quick. Quick break. Hit that subscribe, that like, and that bell one time for us.
Please do. YouTube family, please do. We've been neglecting y'all for a little while. I'm sorry, General D. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. Like you said, we back in action. You know what I'm saying? We were just taking care of some stuff. We always up at the Berg, at the compound, making sure stuff is on point and that we're always being busy and taking care of stuff. So this is just another good ass update with some facts. I don't really do too many opinions here. This is all research based. So I got an update on the Breonna Taylor story. Once again, we are running into a situation where brothers and sisters are out here taking what the media gives you and you're just running with it. You're not doing no research. Half of y'all don't even know that this young lady was under indictment for the last few years, first off. A lot of you don't understand that both guys that she was messing with, which was one of the gentlemen that was stuck in that house during the shootout, were the ones under investigation. A no-knock warrant only goes through when you've already been greenlit by the DA. When the investigation by the detective has already been followed through, they have enough proof, enough footage, enough evidence. That's how you get a no-knock warrant. Okay. Now, just for some of you idiots that watch TV and the media, and you're not even paying attention to the bullshit you're watching, they do throw some truth bombs in there. But what you didn't know is that the young man who's in jail serving time for shooting at the cops actually just released a statement October 2nd saying that Breonna Taylor was the one that kicked off the first rounds. Now, he just went on live with Gayle King 2 days ago, re-changing his story. Okay? Breonna Taylor, just because she was working with the government and working towards her own personal goals, did not mean that she was not hustling in the background. She was renting the cars. She was signing for the hotel rooms. She was signing the leases for the houses. She was signing for packages. Now, we just got through talking about people that are in the middle of a criminal investigation, and the guys and the people who are not the main participants be getting off. So what about the main participants? Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all sit on that, let that sink in, because I'm moving on to my next topic. I just want some of y'all to stop talking before you think and do some research. The young lady has been under investigation for years as a queen pin and possibly a front drug runner for that faction. That is a full-blown drug faction that they were running. All right, so make sure you're thinking and researching before you start speaking, especially all over the internet, because there's a lot of people listening to you. For the rest of you political politicians out here worried about votes and who's doing what and what Trump did, well, I got another truth bomb for you. JFK Jr.'s Instagram is breaking the internet right now. If ain't y'all haven't been following. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to attempt to show you his breaking news that he did on his own. Nobody controls this man's Instagram but him. Give me one moment. But the thing is that if you didn't notice that Pence has never been announced as Trump's running mate. If any of you guys even thought about that, he was not announced as the running mate. The running mate for this year is supposed to be JFK Jr. And some of y'all are going to act kind of weird because you're like, well, he's supposed to be dead. Yeah, he's supposed to be dead. But they've already made the announcement that he faked his death a long time ago because he was in fear for his life. When as many people, Kennedys, have been killed, he was allowed to do that. So on October 17th, whether he does or does not, this is the reason why you guys are seeing this political process being treated as a mockery. None of them are taking it serious. People are talking more about the fly on Pence's head and somebody else's head than they are about the subject matter of the fucking debates. Now, y'all talk about all the political shit, but you're not even reading in between the lines when it comes to what they're really discussing. Does it even mean anything? Even if you're a white person, none of that shit makes sense. The only people this shit makes sense to is the motherfuckers that control the shit. And if you don't think this shit's a joke, to my next story, Harris County, Houston, Texas, Dallas Jones, who runs the Democratic Party in Houston, Texas, just got caught and is getting indicted. This is a black man. For all you cooning ass niggas out there, he's getting ready to get indicted for stealing 700,000 ballots with Trump's name on it. Ooh. Yeah, I don't give a shit who wins, but I'm just letting you know. Whether you take your time, do a mail-in ballot, do a ask for a ballot, whether you take your ass to the stupid ass box, whether you fucking put it on a pigeon and send that shit in. The point is, they've already picked, they already know what's going on. So when you go to the polls, make sure your shit gets to where it's supposed to get. Make sure it gets counted. I have 2 of the same ballots with my name on it right now in my house. Now you tell me how that happened. Now, if I didn't turn in the first one, why are you sending me another one? Why? Because my phone is being flooded with Democratic messages and voicemails and emails from people I didn't even give my phone number to, asking me, am I going to send in my ballot? I even got a handwritten postcard to one of my residents asking me, where's my ballot? Handwritten. So I'm gonna leave this one with you too. You tell me and tell us at Mile High News, you tell the War Room how a generated number so that you cannot be frauded on your voting day matches up against a mail-in ballot. Now y'all can call Trump stupid if you want to, but whoever gave you an ID number for your license must be stupid too, because that one ID number is just for you. That one Social Security is just for you, which means you can't be frauded. You can't be fraud yourself. So it's the same system they're trying to implement with your stupid ass voting shit. They want a voter ID number so that nobody can steal your vote. But y'all want the mail-in votes. Y'all want to steal your friend. I just had a story from somebody real close to me that said, I didn't vote for Obama, so my cousin came and took my ballot and put his name on it so he could get more votes because she was so adamant on making sure Obama win. Y'all niggas is fraud in the system. So how dare you worry about what these crackers is doing when niggas is running around frauding the voting system, when niggas is working the polls, when niggas is counting that shit. So I don't want to hear that shit. Not from the politicians we deal with, from you dumbass niggas online. With your no research, no information ass, telling us what to do and how to point our votes and people's votes when you don't even have no research on the people that you supposedly voting for. So there's another one up y'all's ass tonight on a Wednesday evening. Yeah, we going raw and direct. You know what I'm saying? Nassar and Jassara. If you ain't looked it up, you got a question about it, get your ass on here and type up a question and figure out what it is. Do a research and find out what Nassara is.
Hey, fam, y'all really need to research into it.
You want to know another reason why they playing and making a mockery of y'all stupid ass election? Because if Nassara drops the new currency, they have to hold another election 120 days after they drop the currency. So when your president came out a few months ago and said, I may or may not be your president in the next 5 years, it's for those two reasons. Nassara has to hold another election, and the fact that if JFK Jr. does pull up out of nowhere and puts himself out there as the running mate for Trump, I don't see no Democrat or Republican not voting for that man. So it could be the crash of both parties with one single new face on the ballot. In which, if you don't know how it works, if Trump feels like his life is in danger enough, he can swap out his position to JFK Jr., which, by the way, is his best friend for the last 25 years, if you didn't know. Much love to UC, Unity Community and Mile High News, for giving everybody this platform and making sure we can get this information out to our peoples. Fall Cabal, homework, Above Majestic. I'm still getting people asking questions. They're still not sure. Rewatch it, rewatch it, and rewatch it.
Yeah, I ain't something you just watch once.
No, you're going to have to watch it multiple times. You're going to have to go to the Q.org and check with the QAnons and the Patriots and fill in those gaps. You're going to have to go back and do your own work. You cannot explain this stuff to anybody on the street without knowing the knowledge and knowing the facts. Okay? Shout out to MREC and Amina on YouTube. They're one of the top ranked information sites labeled by the military. They hit number 28 on the list. There's only 50 top sites that they will not allow YouTube to crush, and they are one of them. So you make sure, this is where I do a lot of my research with this crew. MREC and Amina out of New York, they are dynamite. And of course the Q and all my DOA agents, please make sure y'all niggas stay close, because after election it's gonna get real tight. Guns up, much love to all the black folks out there, and I'm out of here.
Sure. Definitely. So, brother Boo God man, we'll get with you, bro, and get you that case number. He said he wanted the case number for our brother to do the investigation. And next up we got our brother Che, our brother Jesse with brother he's gonna be speaking on tangibles and the homeless sweeps and and the what?
Homeless action.
And the homeless action. Sorry, I can't read my own writing. So, brother Che, you good?
Thank you, Brother Noble. Thank you, family. We're 20 days out, family. And what are we going to do? We got Biden, the Democrats, doing stripper commercials talking about get your booty to the polls. And now Roly Poly Martin is doing a nationwide voter tour. So the Democrats is desperate, family.
Major.
They want our vote so bad. But like I told them in the chat, what is Biden going to do for us? What is Kamala going to do for us? They have not offered us no tangibles, family. And as I've reiterated on numerous shows, this is the year and the decade of tangibles. They're not doing anything specifically for foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery. They are not getting our votes. Doesn't matter how much pandering, no matter how much cooning these celebrities do to get us to vote for them, it's not happening. We are demanding our tangibles, and that goes for Trump too. Trump, Biden, any of y'all most that want our vote, y'all gonna have to produce tangibles. And when I say tangibles, that's something specific, something concrete, something real, something substance, something you can feel, touch, measure, count. Not symbolism. They've been getting us for the past 50 years with symbolism. Those days are over. We are demanding our tangibles. Anybody that is running for office that is seeking the black vote is for sale to the highest bidder. So we're not letting up on that. So we got 20 days, family, and I ain't seen them offer us nothing besides this lift every voice and the platinum plan, which is the tinfoil plan, but it's still more than what the Democrats is offering. So do your research, family. Research all these candidates. These ones that want your vote, you need to know what their policies are and what it is they're talking about and what it is they're offering you. And if they're not offering you anything, do not vote for them. Don't be voting just to be voting. Don't be voting because so-and-so celebrity told you need to go out here and vote. Don't just be voting because grandma and grandpa told you got to be out here and vote. You need to vote with an agenda, with a cause, and if they do not have a black agenda, if they're not talking about reparations, if they're not talking about land, if they're not talking about something specifically for us, don't waste your time, family.
For all y'all people, I'm sorry, brother. For all y'all people out there saying that our ancestors died for the right to vote, that is a fucking lie, and that's stupid.
It's stupid.
Our ancestors died for the right to vote for something that would help them survive. Our ancestors died for the right to vote for something that will help them empower themselves. But just going to go vote for somebody who don't give a fuck about you, that ain't what they died for. And that's actually disrespectful. And it's stupid.
Disrespectful as fuck, bro.
It's really dumb. So I don't really want to hear that. Please don't put that on my. I'll probably block you if I see it.
Real shit.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother.
At least prove it to us.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, brother.
Our ancestors
I'm tired of seeing that dumb
for
shit.
liberation and freedom, not for the goddamn right to vote. So don't fall for the trick bag, family. And we are demanding 906 trillion, but they can start it at 100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that's been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people. We want an immediate end to the state-sanctioned killings of our people. We want you to turn over all the land, all the homes, all the businesses, everything that you have gained as a result of slavery. So do not lose focus, family, no matter what's going on. Coronavirus, the election, riots in the streets, complete chaos. Stay focused on them tangibles, family. We are not going to let up on this. And like I said, this is not just for 2020. This is for 2024, 2028, 2032, and so on and so forth. This is a generational fight, and we're not going to let up until we get our tangibles. And both of the two parties can collapse, the Democrats and the Republicans, because you're not going to keep taking our vote for granted, period. Politics is an exchange, not a gift. So on a whole nother note, the homeless sweeps continue in Denver. And we are doing an action to bring awareness to what is going on. So there was a sweep today on Broadway and 22nd. and there was a sweep yesterday on 19th and Welton. So you got all the services in the center of the city, but yet you don't want homeless, unhoused, undesirables in the center of the city, but you got all the homeless services in the center of the city. It makes no sense.
Mhm.
And our mayor's scared to death. He done locked off the city and county building. That's where they have the council meetings. There's a big old fence around the whole building. My organization, Denver Homeless Out Loud, put on an action tonight to bring awareness to the unhoused BIPOC, Black Indigenous people of color, they're calling it. You already know how we feel about that people of color shit, but just for context, that's what they're calling it, Black Indigenous people of color, or BIPOC for short.
Disrespecting Tupac like that.
Straight up, man.
That's just
But they think they're
funny
doing
as hell,
something because
man.
black is first. But the police came out, family, and they told everybody they had to take down their tents, and I guess there was an arrest after I left. But yeah, this is ridiculous. These sweeps have to stop. They keep sweeping people like trash. We got 26,000 vacant luxury apartments in Denver, and yet those that want a home cannot get a home. So Denver, we have a crisis. America, we have a crisis. And world, we have a crisis because we have ethnic cleansing going on throughout all the major municipalities in this country. And enough is enough of this shit. The people are saying enough is enough of this. And we're going to continue to go against the system until the system falls, family. We have to replace this system with a system of justice, guaranteeing that nobody is mistreated based off the color of their skin, and those that need the most constructive help get it. So stay focused, family, no matter what's going on. That's all I got for tonight.
That's right. Good. That's right, fam. So next up, we got our brother, our future senator, running with the Unity Party. And if you guys check out the Mile High News, we did a commercial with him. He let you know what he was all about. And he's going to do the same thing tonight. So, brother, say cool.
Let the church say amen.
Two guns in.
What is going on? What is going on, y'all?
Say cool.
Oh, okay. What's going on? What is happening? And ain't this a bitch? We in deja vu, y'all, and we have to remember and stay focused. We are at war. We're at war. And this war is taking on a form that has been most vicious, and that is, it's a war that has never been declared officially in writing. And it has been perpetuated throughout hundreds of years in reality. Kind of like Vietnam, it started out, it was an undeclared war. Yeah. And America was supplying the Vietnamese government in the South with weapons, billions of dollars back in 1957. They never declared it a war, and they supplied all of the things to make it happen. Make it happen. See? And this is what we're dealing with. See? What you see is not what you're going to get. America has mastered hypocrisy. And the mask you wear is just a piece of the masquerade costume that we've been wearing from day one. See? When they first showed up in the shores of Africa, to come get us, to bring us here, only to discover that we was already here. For 10,000 years, we were already here. So when you talk about indigenous people, that was before the boats came across the Bering Strait. We got to get this straight here. See, as you go about blowing up your story, and you exclude certain facts. See? And then you want to unite around your story and not the facts. Well, there's a thing called testimony and there's a thing called evidence. Choose. See? Choose. Because what you say don't necessarily make it what it is. It is what it is, whether you like it or not, whether you write it down or not, whether you acknowledge it or not. We are here tonight in this studio doing this program, and we don't give a damn whether you see it or not. That don't mean it didn't happen. That's what truth is all about. It don't care nothing about your opinion. And there's always more to be revealed because everything is changing like this. And we have to keep up with it. And it's that quick. And that's how quick this thing can be on or how quick this thing can be over. Simply because we are not organized. We're not organized. We're not organized. And so if this thing pops, we got more than pandemonium. We got a goddamn shame. Because the numbers of casualties for civilians are going to be high. It'll make this little 200,000 bonus thing look like kindergarten numbers. And it's going to be bloody. And it's going to be violent. That's just it. That's what we're dealing with. We ain't dealing with no peaceful folk. We ain't dealing with no caring folk. We ain't dealing with no humanity folk. I'm talking about for real. You can't find a lower, low-down, two-legged land rat than this white supremacist cracker right here. We're going to tell the truth, and we're going to call it what it is. Because, yes, use the cracker. That's what you call yourself. See? Use a cracker. Salted or unsalted, you're still a cracker. And the great thing about a cracker is easy to break, man. With the truth, a little bit of truth will break it in half. Man. So come on, man. This ain't all of that. We are flowing this up really big. You know what I'm saying? And it's that big. It's big because it's organized. Like an ant is organized. It pays attention to detail. And it's powerful because it spends most of its life underground in the shadow. You never seldom see all the ants. You see a couple coming out and doing what they're doing, but underneath that ground, Jack, there's billions of them. Resupplying themselves, working together in units, organized. And his brain is about as big as the tip of a safety pin. But now you got this big old head full of brains that you don't use, and then you blow this up and make this a mountain that can't be climbed because you are not organized. That's it. And if an ant can organize itself and you can't, what happened? What happened to you? I just want to know. What happened to you, man? Big old brain, you ain't using it, and then you think you thinking. And all you're doing is responding to external stimuli. Like Pavlov's law, conditioning response. So we are thoroughly programmed. Yes, we are. And today we can honestly say we are less programmed than what we was yesterday. And the numbers are growing. They're growing. We're becoming more conscious every day about everything. Yeah. Yeah. And we're working our way to the truth. And the struggle with truth is always against the lie. See? That's how you learn the truth. By struggling for for the reality that they're presenting that's a straight up lie. And you know he's a liar. Trump ain't the only one lying. They all lying.
All up.
All online. All online. And then you got to sort through all of this to see if you can find a bright light of hope. I'm talking about for real. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to get in bed with the devil as the lesser of evils, and then read your Bible and pray at night before you go to bed. And then wonder when you wake up in the morning, you got a headache. You had a nightmare. You had hope. You're in the spirit. You burned the candles. You burned the incense. You smoked 14 joints just so you could go to sleep, Jack. Because if you knew for sure, and we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg. General D is just scratching the tip of the iceberg. Just on the strength of what he just said tonight, how are you going to go to sleep knowing that this is going down right underneath your nose? Stinking. And the nostrils like camel dung. I picked up camel dung, there might be some kids watching. I'm working on my language. This is definitely a show for folks that have grown, for real. And then you have to dissect this and share this with the kids, kind of thing. I would think. So,
We hope.
what we're doing tonight is we're talking about a code of conduct. As a United States Senator, I have to run on a code of conduct. If you got to make me accountable and watch what I do, I don't need to be here. Because that says you don't trust me. I have no integrity. See? And so I know we're going to got callers coming in. So I just want to take a piece tonight and talk about the Shipbuilders platform. And we talked about 5 of the things already. We talked about the demand for $100 trillion for reparations. We talked about the unconditional support of the United States Constitution's Second Amendment of rights to human rights to bear arms against the government, not to go hunting. This is for the government. And then we're talking about an end to all murders and injury of unarmed citizens by local, state, and national police agencies. We talked about a ban on all the 5G installations in American cities until critical research has determined the public safety health risk. And tonight we're going to talk about the establishment of a National Scientific Board of Health Investigation, a cabinet position, to find a cure for the COVID-19 flu epidemic virus disease. All right, here we go. We can keep this real short. Malcolm X once said, what's good for white folks is bad for black folks, period. You ain't got to dot their I's and cross the T. You know that's the way it works. The vaccine is not the cure. It's to maintain you from not getting sick, which means they shoot you with the sickness up. Now, if you don't have the correct genetic makeup to dissolve and make that happen in terms of your beingness, you're dead. You're dead. So don't take the shot until it's proven it works on them.
Don't take it, period.
And have the hope that it don't work for them. So that's less white folks you got to deal with. Let them shoot their ass up. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Now, for all you black folks who shoot it up, good. Take the shot. Be the great example of what not to be. Do it, because we need evidence here. We need evidence. Somebody got to be the damn fool. Now, just because you the fool don't make me smart. No, it don't. All it does is not make me that stupid. Take it. I did it. Go ahead. Do me a favor. You know what I'm saying? Do me a favor, because there has to be an internal purge of our ranks, Jack. And for all y'all believing in that, help me out, would you please? That way I ain't gotta explain it no more. I ain't gotta explain it no more. I just check the obituary page every day and see who won the day, who took the shot. Because see, this is war. And in war, there's no sentimentality whatsoever. I don't have the luxury of giving a fuck about my enemy. That means the one inside my camp and the one outside my camp, die, nigga, die. So that the real African can live. That's clear about its purpose, identity, and direction. We have no more time to waste on trying to figure out what's already figured out. Our scholars have given us every scenario there is to work with. We tried everything. Separation, integration, infiltration, exodus, I'm out of here. But there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I leave here, go to Africa, I got the same bullshit going on at home. I leave Denver, go to California, I got the same bullshit going on. I leave America, I go to China, I got the same bullshit going on. I leave here, I fuck around with the Eskimos, which is a bunch of niggas on ice. I got the same shit going on. So the name of the game isn't how do I solve the problem of me here or there or everywhere. It's to solve the problem wherever I'm at, Jack. I'm done with this no matter what. No matter what. It all got to go. Period. Which means that we have got to get busy organizing ourselves for the victory. Because we're going to win this one. Oh, yeah, we are. We're going to win it. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter how long it takes. And really, the longer it takes, the longer I like it, because I don't like whooping this white boy's ass. I don't want to ever stop. I really don't. I don't know what I'd do. What would I do if there was no white boy?
Be happy.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm talking about for real. You got me crazy in a motherfucker like him. I love to fight this motherfucker. I want to whoop his ass. I want to take the reparation money and get guns and shoot his ass with his own money. I don't just want the goddamn money. I want your ass, boy. You've got to pay. And that's the fear that we're going to get him. But we've been getting him. So it's almost time that I'm getting satisfied. We had to get it no more. I wake up in the morning, I don't even think about white folks no more. I don't. How you think about them? They like they don't even exist. Why do you think I wear the sunglasses all the time? I can't see them. I gotta darken them down because then they bad for my eyes and shit. I want to see them pale face Yankee Doodle motherfuckers. Fuck them. All right, they are irrelevant. That means every last one of them, man, woman, and child, ain't nothing but a potential cracker. My enemy. And my enemy is not worthy of consideration when you are out to murder me. See? No. No. Ain't gonna happen. All right? I care about white folks, but they care about us. Nothing. Nothing.
Y'all hear that, people?
Nothing. That's all I got tonight for these nothing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Vote for me. You know what I'm saying? Or vote for nothing. You don't vote for me. You ain't about nothing.
I wish you was about to.
This is not a skit, y'all. This is for real.
For real.
This is not a
He's
skit.
really running for the Senate.
Like
This
for
is
real,
no
for
joke.
real. Like
You
stop
know?
playing.
So, yeah, definitely. And as always, I want to open up the panel to all my peoples. Any questions? We got our brother Woo Woo Godman who said we were killed for voting and registering people to vote. Historically, just had to clear that up, good brother.
Say that again. Repeat that. Repeat that. Say it one more time.
So we were killed for voting and registering people to vote historically. Just had to clear that up, good brother.
Yeah, that's called collateral damage for dipping in some shit they didn't want to see anyway. It has nothing to do with the fact that we were killed trying to get people to vote in the future. No, you got to remember, this is all
Right.
based off our tribal lifestyle.
And you see
We
when
voted
that
in our
happened,
tribes.
what is that?
We
World
didn't vote
War
for
II,
shit.
voted in Georgia 1946, he was lynched for it.
Bro, let's go back before the 19s and the 18s and the 16s and the 15s and the 14s. Tribal life. We've been voting. Ain't nobody died for us to vote. We've been voting.
That's right. That's right. Because see, we are the people.
I'm gonna let y'all address that.
No, man, we the
We think
people.
the
man.
system
Break
came
time.
from
You
it.
know what I'm saying? See, we gotta do this.
I mean, what he said was an actual fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did have people that died going to vote and registered to
But
vote.
what were they voting for?
But
They were voting for people who were going to empower them and potentially help them out in the long
Exactly.
run. They weren't voting for people like Kamala and Joe Biden who weren't going to do nothing for them. They were actually going to do
yeah,
something.
they was voting under the expectation of things getting better.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people, man. If y'all find a candidate out there that's really going to support us and that's really for us, we're not for saying, hey, don't go vote at all. Voting is stupid. No, voting is great if you have something to vote for.
Right.
We don't have nothing to vote for. So peace, brother Woo Woo God, man. For
Yeah,
sure.
and that's a beautiful thing. See, we gotta
I
understand.
like
the
facts
thing.
too. I like
Right?
facts.
Hey, we were the ones who actually practiced democracy before we got here.
Yep.
All right. So don't act as if we don't know what that's all about. As a matter of fact, we're the moral compass inside of the Western Hemisphere that's been pushing for justice, that's been pushing for the right to vote, that's been pushing for people's participation in the decisions that's being made by their life, that's being done by a few folks. All right. As opposed to the masses participating in it and then designating to the people what's the deal gonna be. So when it comes to democracy and voting, we've been voting all our life. All our life. And I'm not gonna give him credit for that. So when I went to vote and I was murdered for that, that wasn't because of the vote. No. That was because of the power of the tool. And they didn't give that to us. We took that. Because as Johnson was in 65 polling over, and Congress polling over whether or not we should vote or not in the Voters' Rights Act, you better hurry up and sign the act because we was burning down the country from sea to shining sea. You hurried up and vote to let us vote. But then we didn't have the power to determine the candidates that we voting for. See? But we wasn't burning down the country to vote for some cracker who was gonna kill us. No. We was voting on the principle of democracy. We were standing up for the code of conduct, for our humanity. That's what we was fighting for. Not the vote. The vote can't give you that. You got to be about that. And if somebody tries to take that from you, then you got to be willing to protect that by any means necessary. And so now we're at that stage, we done tried everything. But a revolutionary war. That's a declared war. And the key to the game is to overthrow the oppressor, including the system and everybody that's been down for it.
Gangbangers, we need y'all to step up.
And there'll be no mercy. See? There'll be no mercy. You're going to get what you brought to the table. See? Whether you're conscious of it or not, whether you meant to or not. See? A dead man, woman, or child is dead. Period. And you can't bring that back. So as my grandmama said, the road to hell is made with good intentions. That don't mean shit. Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
I guess, I don't know, I ain't mad at nobody.
What they saying, D?
I'm seeing no new comments right as far as right now.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're just some deep thought over all the things we talked about
Yeah,
today.
right.
Maybe there's not too many questions. Hopefully they're using this time to go research.
Right.
You know, so I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna send our host back in here and have him end us out real quick. You know, but you heard say cool. It is what it is.
Right. Vote with an agenda, vote with a cause. You don't vote at all.
Sister Melly, did you want to say anything else for the show? Sister Melly? She probably is. Well, then that's all I'm there.
Right. So thank y'all for tuning in. This has been Mile High News, episode 47. We're getting it in, family. We're gonna keep it pushing. We love y'all. Make sure y'all stay in touch with us, you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff coming up. Like I said, we got our Unity Farmers Market coming on. We're gonna have a special episode too coming up pretty soon here. We're gonna put some people out on the streets and ask some white folks some questions. and some black folks and some Mexican folks.
Same questions.
Yeah, we gonna get it in. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stick with us. 2021 is gonna be something else. But y'all gotta know that Mile High News, we're gonna be here, giving y'all the real news and the real truth of what's going on. So once again, peace, love, and black empowerment. We love y'all, fam. Peace.
Yeah, people gonna see that.